This episode is sponsored by Cook Unity. My fiance is incredible at cooking, which is so nice all of the time. But whenever they're out of town or they have a busy night, I feel so useless because I don't know how to cook anything. And I want to be more independent because that is healthy. And so I've outsourced to Cook Unity. Cook Unity is the first chef-to-you service delivering locally sourced meals from award-winning chefs right to your door every week. And it's cheaper than other delivery options. I am so excited to try Cook Unity's Mission-style beef burrito with black beans and rice. Are you kidding me? That sounds so incredible. Cook Unity works with some of the best chefs in the country to bring creative, delicious meals to you every single week. And every meal is handcrafted by chefs and made in a local micro kitchen, not large production facilities. So you're supporting something good. Experience chef-quality meals every week delivered right to your door. Go to cookunity.com/BCC or enter code BCC before checkout for 50% off your first week. That's 50% off your first week by using code BCC or going to cookunity.com/BCC. Welcome to the chain. We're your hosts. This is the BCC Club. I'm Kendahl Landreth.
And I'm Sarah Shower. And each week we go down an internet rabbit hole.
This week we're talking about celebrity conspiracy theories.
We are trying to keep it lighthearted this week. There are, because as you all know, conspiracy theories can get very dark. And
oh, sure. These are fun. These are a hoot. They're simple. They're light. Yeah, they're light. Before we get into it, how was your week?
It was good. I've been reading books. I've been reading a lot of books. My one that I'm doing on, reading right now is Cultish, which everyone kept DMing me that it's related to another podcast that I should reach out to. And I probably, I feel like that would be a fun topic to talk about. So once I finish the book and find out the author.
I should finish. Yeah, it's going to take a while to find out the author.
Yeah.
I should read it too.
Yeah, you should. I can lend you my book. Okay. However, I highlight the crap out of everything.
Fun, though.
There's
that's very intimate. A real look into your brain.
Oh yeah, but some of them are like I literally write like a star and I'm like, interesting. Like nothing else. I'm just like, I'll go back and be like, okay, yeah. But sometimes I have a highlighter specifically for words I don't know.
Oh, that's
nice. I want to buy one of those bookmarks that's also a dictionary.
Oh yeah, I've never seen those.
They're it's like a tiny dictionary. Because sometimes I read medical journals and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Why do you read medical journals?
Because I love psychology stuff.
Oh, like a psychology.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I don't like learning about the human body. That's enough,
Yeah.
But the brain and how people think. Because I've always I don't know, just having ADHD and autism, I feel on the outside of a lot of things. And so there's a lot of things I haven't understood. And I mean, I understand laws of the world.
Yeah.
But sometimes when people tell me something, I genuinely can't understand where they're coming from.
Oh, okay.
People were talking about Renee Rapp, and this one, I love Renee Rapp, but this one girl was like, I love Renee Rapp because she's not afraid to be unlikable. And the video had 60,000 likes, and I was like, pause. Is she unlikable to some people? Is there something about her that's being unlikable?
I don't know if I would... No, I don't think so. I don't feel like she seems like she is trying, doesn't care if she seems unlikable.
Yeah, that's what so I think maybe the fact that she tells it like it is.
Yeah. But it feels kind of like how sometimes people, and I like Renee Rapp too, so this is not a dig at Renee Rapp, but it's some people will be like, I'm an open book. I feel like I can be this way. Well, I'm an open book, but it's I'm an open book with things that are I've specifically chosen to be an open book about. Do you know what I mean? Where it's well, I'm comfortable with, I feel like stand-up comedians are like this a lot, where it's oh, they talk about their personal life, but it's well, no, they talk about these 8 things that they're comfortable talking about that feel personal to you, but the things that are really, really personal to them, they're probably not talking about. I think sometimes maybe with Renee Rapp, it can feel like she tells it like it is about things that she knows are gonna be fine to say, that people will be like, yes girl, pop off, which which is normal. I also do that. It's not I think she should be saying more cancelable things, but I'm sure she's not telling it like it is in a way that's not controlled. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that's interesting.
100%. So we're talking about
how was your week?
I'm sorry,
because there's something that you didn't say last episode.
Oh, Sarah, well, okay, I got engaged. Here's my ring.
Oh my god, wait. That is so, I love that.
Thank you.
And you chose that?
I did. I picked it out. We went to a ring place a couple times and tried stuff on, and I picked this one. And but I did not expect to get engaged this year. I did not. Like we went and picked it out and I was kind of like, oh great, now like sometime in the next 5 years maybe we'll get engaged. I just thought that because we've just been like, we need to pick it out so that what I want and then, propose whenever. But we also were going to go to Germany this year and then ended up not because my partner had to get foot surgery. So when we were going to go to Europe, I was like, I bet they're going to propose to me in Europe. But then when we canceled that trip, I was like, oh, probably just we won't get engaged for a while now. Yeah. But it was Christmas morning and it was in my stocking.
Oh my God.
And it was so great. And then underneath it was a thing that was like, let's go to Palm Springs. And then we went to Palm Springs and I didn't know we were going to go to Palm Springs. It was very fun.
That is so sweet.
And now we're engaged, so I'm very excited.
Also, I asked if you chose it because, like, I know that we were talking about, we had a photo shoot the other day. Like, you want to choose, like, because it's something you're going to wear for a while. Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, I would never, it's so hard to pick. I mean, even, like, I had a whole Pinterest board of, like, engagement rings I liked.
Yeah.
But then when I went and tried them on, not those specific rings, but, like, those style of rings, I, like, didn't like it on my hand.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought I would like this. Like with just looking at it online, but I do in person. So I feel like it's just so personal, and it's like, you're gonna be wearing it forever. It's like, why does the other person need to pick it?
Yeah,
that feels so stressful. I would not want to do that. Like, I would not want to pick someone else's ring that they're gonna be wearing forever.
Oh no, I've tried to buy Naomi clothes, but I mean, Naomi's also incredibly non-binary.
Yeah,
like so they just return everything I buy. So I'm like, I find the idea of like buying them a ring, I'm like, I'm gonna die, you know?
Yeah, it's so good. I've always thought about that if I like ever had a kid, like the thought of like buying like my mom used to like buy me clothes for Christmas.
Yeah.
And she would always do a great job, and I would like the clothes and think they were so cute. I'm like, I would not be able to do that. I would be so anxious. I mean, I even get that like with my girlfriend's always surprising me with stuff, which I think is so sweet, but I'd never surprise them with anything because I'm so nervous to do. Even if I'm like, oh, I think they would like this thing, but it has 4 options of colors.
Yeah.
I like cannot just pick one. I feel like I'm like, well, but what if they would pick a different color and then they wanted that color instead and they would like it better if they had that color? I think it's so hard. So yeah, picking out a ring is not it. It's so expensive too.
Yeah.
You're like buying the most expensive piece of jewelry you have and you have no choice in it. So early on, because we're probably not gonna have like a wedding. We'll probably just get married at like a courthouse.
Can I come?
To the court, yeah.
I'll be the witness.
It's great. Yeah, it's like gonna be very small, probably. I don't know. We can't decide. But anyways, I'm not into like, I'm not so serious about wedding stuff. But really early on, I was like, just so you know, like if you ever propose to me, don't just pick out a ring. Please let me pick it.
I mean, I really want to go because I think my sister got married. I'm not sure. She hasn't texted me back. But she like keeps referring to her girlfriend, fiance as wife.
People do that side. I mean,
but she's gay, so she says wifey all the time. So I would love to go to a gay wedding and be witness to it.
I can't decide.
Well, I mean, if you need someone just there to be like, I
can decide you can come, but I can't decide if I want to have like a big wedding or not.
If you don't even want me to dress up, like, because that's too much pressure, I can also come in sweats.
Yeah, act like a stranger. Act like we don't know you and you're just like kind of in the courthouse area for a trial or something.
Yeah.
I think it's hard because we can't really have, this sounds so bitchy, but we can't really have a small wedding. Like, there's only no wedding or a huge wedding. And I'm like, that sounds, I don't know. We've always been like, no wedding, but now people are like, oh, you're going to have a wedding. And then I'm like, maybe I didn't decide, but I just think I don't want one. But then I think we've always said we were just going to go on like a month-long trip or something and like spend all the money we would on a wedding. And then maybe like a year later have a party or something. But, I don't know. I do want a fancy dress though.
Yeah. That would be so cute. I was going to say cool, cute. Yeah.
Cute.
Well, I mean, if you want someone, if you want someone there to not take it so seriously, I could just look like a slob. Have a newspaper for some weird reason, be like, didn't get selected for jury, gotta wait for my ride. And like, it could be deeply impersonal.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh no, it could be, I would let know, of course. But even we're like, oh, we'll get married at a courthouse. And I feel like there's like 40 people that are like, well, we will be there. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, then we should just have a wedding. Anyways, I can't decide. And I love cake. Yeah. I've always wanted a big fancy cake.
Well, you should do the system of, just when you were getting married, shoot everyone you love a text message. If they can't show up, they can't,
But then it's going to be the most random. It's going to be like my mom can't make it, but like this woman I met briefly who's like my dentist assistant is going to be like,
I have a dentist bib. Yeah. Like, what's happening here? I was going to say,
I'm excited.
If I got married, Naomi, please don't propose in the next 10 years, 5 years. Okay. I would want the most gaudy ring you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It has to be like, is that costume jewelry?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just love like looking a little bit trashy.
Yeah. Well, okay. I feel like such a nerd quoting The Office. It's like not, anytime you try to quote a TV show and like explain a scene, it's like never funny. It always is just people are like, okay. But there is a line in The Office that I've always think is so funny where he gets, Michael Scott like gets his fiance a huge ring and everyone's like, that looks so expensive. And he's like, yeah, 3-year salary. Because it's supposed to be like 3 months salary.
Oh, yeah.
Just the thought that he spent like $300,000 on a ring is so funny.
Oh, yeah. But that's like my dream scenario.
A $300,000 ring?
Yeah. But you know who else could afford a $300,000 ring?
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Who people think might be bald. That's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. So we're going to go into them. The first one is Harry Styles is actually bald.
I believe it.
I mean, they believe that he's strutting the stage in a wig. It started on Dumois as a post in 2022. It says, hidden Hollywood hairline, the message, this A-list musician, occasional actor, has a dirty little secret he hasn't shared with fans. Literally, he has gone almost completely bald. His hairpiece is so lifelike that only a good eye could pick it out, and that's on a bad day. However, he doesn't take it off and clean it enough. Oh. But here's that thing of what you were talking about this once. If you're a celebrity, you're getting hair and makeup done to you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean you're taking a shower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it sometimes can get probably, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like it could, because you feel like you look fine every day.
Yeah.
So you just keep not showering because you feel like you look good.
I know. The thing
and
is,
no one's going to tell you smell bad.
Yeah, no
That's
one's
the thing.
gonna
Like
go up
nobody's going to tell Harry Styles if he smells bad.
Seriously. But I would, I don't know. I would want to have some brutally honest people in my circle.
Yeah.
You know, tell me if I smell like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I think it's really, honestly, I feel like if you're a big celebrity, having like a partner is like when people are like single and really famous, I'm always like, that must be really lonely.
Yeah.
Like I feel like having to have a partner that you met almost previous to being a celebrity is so important, to have just one person always there being like, no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But because I've heard Harry Styles might smell bad. I've heard that rumor. And they said there's some proof that you can see Harry's hairline that has been slowly receding the past several years. We need to embrace the baldness, you guys. Mm-hmm. I feel like balding people, it's like that is fine and it looks great and you're awesome. I just feel like there's so much hate around being bald, unless you don't like being bald for your own thing. But I think and you like want hair. Because I know you love those videos of people growing. Didn't you say you were like crying at TikToks of people growing hair?
I do feel like for the people who get like hair plugs, because I've never seen men like, it just feels nice to watch men invest a weird amount of money into their like
looks.
aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you get it now.
Yes,
And
I totally agree. But I think that there are some people, like if you want to do whatever
Yeah.
to yourself, that's great. But I think some people like, yeah, there's this weird stigma around balding, and I think it's rude.
I don't know. I think sometimes it's okay to make fun of bald men. Because the thing is they have literally made fun of everything about women.
Totally, but I guess I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm always just like coming for people's looks is so tough because I'm like, there's so many things that men do that is so easy to come for that they can control and are choosing not to.
Yeah.
That I think it makes me, it's kind of like when people like come for Donald Trump about his weight. And I'm like, it's like fat phobic. And he has so many things you could say are wrong with him. And the fact that like over all of those things you're talking about his weight feels like, mean is the wrong word because I don't care if you're mean to Donald Trump, but it feels mean to other people. Do you know what I mean?
I think.
Because then what if someone hears you're talking about a man who's bald.
Yes.
And then a woman is bald.
Yes.
And then now what do we? I love food so much, and I am truly horrible at cooking, and I don't mean that in a relatable way. I mean that in a very upsetting, disturbing way, and that I cannot make toast. I cannot make anything. I burn everything. I ruin everything. It's very upsetting, but I do love to eat. And there's this local burrito place in my town that I'm absolutely obsessed with, but I am not going to go get that every single morning because that would be irresponsible. So I've got a culinary taste, but I do know how expensive exploring your local food scene can get. or how hard it is to find the time and energy to try somewhere new. Cook Unity is the first chef-to-use service delivering locally sourced meals from award-winning chefs right to your door every week. And it's cheaper than other delivery options. Go to cookunity.com/BCC or enter code BCC before checkout for 50% off your first week. Since I've been craving a burrito from that local burrito place, I am so excited to try Cook Unity's Mission-style beef burrito with black beans and rice. Are you kidding me? That sounds so incredible. It looks so delicious, and I'm also really excited and feel good to support local chefs and suppliers. There's no cooking required, which is great for me because I've tried all of those other meal delivery services where you make it yourself, and even when there's an instruction that a child could do, I still can't do it. Can you believe that? It's really sad. So Cook Unity is a perfect option for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. Cook Unity works with some of the best chefs in the country to bring creative, delicious meals to you every single week, and every meal is handcrafted by chefs and made in a local micro kitchen, not large production facilities, so you're supporting something good. Your food arrives fresh, never frozen, and packaging that keeps meals fresh in the fridge for up to 7 days. Cook Unity packaging is compostable, recyclable, or reusable. Pick as few as 4 or as many as 16 meals per week, so you could be doing it just for a little dinner, or you can be set for every single day, which is probably what I need to do. I'm so excited to use Cook Unity, and you should too, because then we can try it together, and how sweet is that? Experience chef-quality meals every week delivered right to your door. Go to cookunity.com/BCC or enter code BCC before checkout for 50% off your first week. That's 50% off your first week by using code BCC or going to cookunity.com/BCC.
People said that they don't like the musical version. It's because they were too afraid to market Mean Girls as a musical.
Yes. This is, my partner and I were talking about this the other day. It's like, because I know that they were like, we didn't make it. Mm-hmm. What are you laughing at over there?
No, keep going.
They marketed it as not a musical. And then I think someone said that they were like, oh, we did that on purpose because nobody wants to see musicals in theater, and also, which I'm like, okay, then don't make it. But also, no one wants to see musicals in theater. And then also, it would get people talking about it, that being like, why is there no music in the trailer? But I'm like, just because you get people talking about it, I think where movies do well, once again, this is coming from zero education on this, but where movies do well is when people talk about it after. If it like gets a big buzz, and then people are like, go see that movie, it's so good. Like, go see that movie, it's so good. But if everyone goes and see this movie and doesn't like it, nobody is going to go see it. Like, I feel like there's so many movies I have on my calendar to see, and then someone's like, don't go see it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go see it. Yeah. So I'm like getting people to talk about people were going to talk about Mean Girls no matter what the trailer was. Yeah. But it stopped a lot of people, even if it got a couple people to go see it because they for some reason didn't think it was going to be a musical. Yeah. They're going to tell people after, like, it's a musical, don't go see it.
Yeah, no, they pulled a Jennifer's Body, right? Because Jennifer's Body was marketed as, like, some, like, smutty, like, lesbian girl-on-girl shit. Yeah. And then when people showed up, they're like, it's scary. And they make out, like, twice, you know?
Or, like, Parasite, too. Parasite did well for itself, so I don't think it was a problem. But they marketed it really as, like, a horror film. Yeah. And it's not really horror. It's kind of like a thriller, I would say. It's not really, but they marketed it as like a really scary horror film. Yeah. So I think when some people went and saw it, they were like, yeah, it's great. It's not a horror movie. Yeah. Still did great.
No, yeah, that's the thing with like Jennifer's Body. They're like, we came for the lesbian makeout. We left feeling, they had to challenge thoughts in their brain. Yeah. Like that's why, and so like that didn't work for like Jennifer's Body. Like it's great. Like everyone now is realizing like, oh, it's a great horror movie, but like at the time people hated it, and they're gonna do that same thing to Mean Girls the musical. Mm-hmm.
There's so many movies like that like are all of a sudden cult classics. Yeah. But at the time when they came out, like no one cared about it. It always makes me think like what's gonna be a cult classic in like 30 years where it's gonna be like, oh, you know, the SpongeBob movie with David Hasselhoff is a cult classic, and I'm like, what? Yeah.
But yes, sorry, back to Harry Styles. They have some photo proof of his hairline receding. He has talked about how he doesn't want to be spotted in public, so being bald would make him stand out more. In Dunkirk, when he cut his hair, his fans went insane because they missed his fuller hair look. And I think I'm looking at the photo now. I think he has that balding pattern where it goes from like this part of the head, like the right above the temples, not like so much like center, like, you know, that balding through the center out. I wonder if what's the reason for that? Like balding, like...
I don't know what the reason for any of...
hairline receding versus like actually balding on top.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's like a lot of
maybe
testosterone.
Where the sun hits?
I don't know. My dad has a full head of hair and he's like 50-something.
Yeah.
So, and my mom's pretty thick, both body and hair.
Let's get away. Wow.
So if I have any signs, I don't think that they would have to worry about balding.
Oh yeah, mine probably would. My dad, my dad balded, but it was never like full balding. He still had a little bit of hair going on.
Where?
Like on the top, it was like he balded on the top where you could like see his head, but it's still, there was still some hair.
Or
but it was like so thin to the point where I would be like, yeah, he's bald. Mm-hmm. But there was like one, it was like alfalfa, one little hair.
Oh yeah.
Also, people think that Lea Michele can't read.
This is so popular. Lea Michele from Glee. So the origin of this is the rumor started in 2017 when Jay Hunt and Robert Ackerman of the pop culture podcast One More Thing dove into the memoir of Lea's Glee co-star Sorry Not Sorry by the late Naya Rivera. The pair fixated on a section of the book in which Naya reveals that during the filming of Glee, Lea had refused to improvise with guest star Tim Conway and made his granddaughter, who was visiting the set for the shoot, cry. Jay and Robert looked for a response to the claims from Lea online and couldn't find anything. That in turn made them question whether she'd engage with Naya's memoir at all. And then Robert said, maybe she can't read, so she can't read the book. And then this inspired a 40-minute long TED Talk style video on Facebook titled Lea Michele is Illiterate. The video has since been taken down, and the podcasters don't claim that Lea has a learning disorder, but rather that she was a child star, so she simply never found time to learn how to read or write. Now they claim she just pays people to do it for her. Yeah, I think...
That's going to be me.
What?
That's going to be me, honestly.
Not knowing how to... You unlearn
having
reading?
People... I can hardly read now.
Putting your New Year's resolutions, just forget it all.
I would believe this, though, because I have seen, you see people like JoJo Siwa, for example.
Yeah.
I am like, and I would ask her, because I'm sure maybe she has a different answer to this, but I'm like, when did you go to school? There's absolutely no way you went to school. And even if you were meeting the requirements, parents could lie about that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
JoJo Siwa, I've been watching my own eyes her not go to school for 10 years. She's been on every reality show that involves dance you can think of. There's no time in there that she went to school. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, when would you... Reading is hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. It's really hard.
No, it is.
So when did you learn to do that? I just wouldn't... And I'm like, sure, JoJo Siwa knows how to read. But how well? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But then I went to school and I can't read very well, so maybe it doesn't matter. But am just like some people... When did you learn to do this?
Yes. I think that's for a lot of people, that's for learning disability reasons. If anything, they should be potentially defending, because it sounds like if Lea Michele probably dealt with some neglect growing up, like her mom didn't take her to school or something, and JoJo Siwa, I don't think her mom has any honest intentions. You don't sign your kid up for like every reality dancing TV show because you care. You know?
Yeah.
But
it's so insane. Yeah, I'm just like, when did she... I'm like, I want to ask, like, if she's done, like...
It's probably some, like, 2-hour a day sort of, like, math, science, literature course. Anyone who's been homeschooled, sound off in the comments if you can. No, I'm totally kidding. I know that you guys are probably, like, a lot smarter than us.
Yeah, I'm always like, people will like be like, well, people who are homeschooled are way smarter than people who aren't homeschooled. I'm like, a very specific group where like, they're homeschooled, they live like in nature.
Yeah.
They're usually like already geniuses. They spend all of their time, their family usually has money.
Yeah.
I don't know, all these things add up to, you can spend a lot of time because you can like learn about things you're interested in, learn about specific whatever. But I am like, most people who are getting homeschooled, it is not that situation.
Yeah.
I would say.
Most parents are not qualified to teach. Like, if you think about if you've ever asked your dad for help on math homework, do you want that man teaching math?
No. Tears.
Literally, he's like screaming about like fractions.
And homeschooling is not homeschooling. If you're getting homeschooled because your parents are like, I want to teach you and take you to all these cool places and learn about all this stuff, is different from a girl who's like, I have 12 auditions a day. I'm 7 years old. And for an hour a day, I go on this website and I pretend to do schoolwork.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
You know, the video tracks Lea's career from the early moments all the way through her long-standing working relationship with Ryan Murphy. You know, there's this tweet that says Lea Michele made a deal with the devil so she could be in Funny Girl on Broadway. She's like Ariel, but instead of trading her voice, she had traded the ability to read. Literacy is a prison, much like Finn's.
Yeah.
He wrote the actual hypothesis. The host claims that during her time on Glee, Lea memorized the lines to her songs by listening to the recorded versions, which leads to the next big claim that Glee creator Ryan Murphy was in on the secret. You know, after Glee, it was Ryan Murphy's Scream Queens, where Lea was. And, you know, I mean, that's an easy way to keep up a lie.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with Ryan Murphy, but something's going on with Ryan Murphy. That's what I'll tell you.
I love American Horror Story. My main input on American Horror Story, get to the point. Wrap that shit up. It goes on forever. Like, God, he's not brief, right? But also, he casts the same people over and over, which I do like. You know, you keep casting your friends. But sometimes...
But who they are is always a little bit of a red flag, it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
He's also, like, he casts a lot of Nepo babies, which I don't mind. But
I do.
Yeah.
I find it irritating. Good. If you're good at anything, all is forgiven. Like, even if you're like, I'm an asshole and I'm so mean, but I'm so good at science and that's what I do for a living, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there are some people it's just irredeemable. So I feel like nepotism babies that also aren't talented, I'm like, actually,
Yeah.
I hate you.
Literally,
And you should not get to do this.
Yeah, okay, so there's different degrees in my mind of how much I don't like nepotism babies. A nepotism baby who cross industries, absolutely hate. Like, if your parents are athletes and you're an actress, I'm sorry, there's almost like no way for me to come to like you. A type of nepotism baby I'm like, I'll get into it, is if you're, I don't feel fair that you have like a leg up in the industry, but if your parents are actors and you're an actor and your parents are good actors, then I'm like, okay, I can believe that you're a good actor.
But what if the parents are a good actor and then they're a bad actor?
Then
with no training.
That's a Chet Hanks situation where you're like, what the fuck went wrong? You know what I mean?
Because that is really embarrassing. And I'm like, I thank God every day, honestly, that I'm not a nepotism baby, because I do think it would be impossible to gain confidence. Because if you are a nepotism baby, you're like, well, I should, if you get so successful, if like you're Meryl Streep's kid and you're like, wow, I'm in all these movies, I'm doing amazing, I would be like, duh, of course I'm a successful actor. I should be a successful actor. Whereas if like I booked a Taco Bell commercial, I'd be the talk of my hometown. Like, it would be like such a big deal for me. And I would be like, wow, I actually made it. Like, I fucking did this shit. But if you don't become the most successful person ever and you're that much of a nepotism baby, it's so embarrassing. Like, something that's normal for everyone else, it's like, of course you're not going to make it in this industry. It's so hard. If you're a nepotism baby, it's like you are the least talented piece of shit.
Yeah. I would say my favorite type of nepotism baby, like to your point, is the nepotism baby is on par or above their parents. And so I'm going to say that this nepotism baby is on par with their parents, Zoe Kravitz. Like Lenny Kravitz's daughter. I'm like, you guys are...
Miley Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus has surpassed. Okay, so that's what I mean. The nepotism baby, when you are on par or you've surpassed, Miley Cyrus has far passed Billy Ray. Like, and also I think Miley has earned it. Like, if also I believe that a nepo baby can shed their label if they surpass their parents.
I think Miley Cyrus has done that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Miley Cyrus.
Oh God, I fucking love Miley Cyrus. There's also another one. So Lea, if you can read or write, let us know in the comments if you can. But here's the thing. Okay, so I am on my mother's side related to a lot of illiterate people.
Okay.
Because Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh my God, my dad's from Birmingham, Alabama.
I know, we talked about this.
Oh.
Where'd how old was your dad?
70.
When was he born?
69. No.
My mom was born in 1957.
50. Whatever 70 years ago was. Sorry.
Is my mom 70?
No. Because I did the math wrong.
1954.
54. Okay, I was born in 54.
So your dad was 3 years older than my mom.
Okay.
So they could have known each other.
That's so funny. Was she religious? Yeah, she was pretty religious.
Very religious.
What church did she go to?
I don't know, but her dad was a mailman.
Okay.
Her mom stopped going to school after 7th grade. So they probably...
I don't know what I'm thinking about. Is I'm like, do I know this? Wait, what's your mom's name again?
I don't want to say her maiden name because that's like a...
Oh, yeah.
Security password.
No, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they probably did know each other, honestly.
I'll ask
have to
my
look
mom.
at my dad's yearbook.
Yeah.
Well, that'd probably be easier just to ask your mom.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I can joke about illiteracy. And also we have learning disabilities.
And I'm illiterate, so then we can easily joke. I mean, no, my vocabulary is just very, very small.
Yeah.
Because it's like anything. It takes practice. And I was so bad at reading and processing that I just never read anything, really.
Yeah.
Like all through high school and middle school, whatever. And I would or I'd have to have my mom help me read stuff. So I think at this point in my life, on medication, I'm able to read and get through a book, but I don't know so many of the words, even in a very younger than me age group book.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly having to ask what words mean.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, I'm able to read, but it's just at the level of a younger person, and I don't have a good vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. I've got something wrong with my brain where it's I go to all the proper nouns first in a sentence.
Yeah, I do that as well.
A name or proper noun, I'm I have to force myself to go to the front.
And I'll skip to the bottom of the page for no reason. Not I saw something interesting. I'll just be wanting to see what's down there. And then I'm oh, I need to reread this. What is going on?
No, exactly.
Also, people think that Anne Hathaway might be a time traveler. Mm-hmm. I love Anne Hathaway.
She is, yeah.
One time when I was really drunk and I was in high school, I DM'd her and asked her if she could please, I was begging her to please help me become famous.
She respond?
No.
Well, and but yeah, a Twitter user posted about how Anne Hathaway's husband looks extremely similar to William Shakespeare, and he does.
What does that have to do with her? That means he's a time traveler.
She's a Shakespearean by proxy. And William Shakespeare's wife was also named Anne Hathaway.
Oh, wait, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That is weird. Well, wait, was she named after Anne Hathaway?
I don't know. Wait, the theory states that Anne Hathaway and her current husband must have been reincarnated after living in the 16th century. Twitter users added that in the 16th century they perhaps made a deal. Shakespeare would be more famous in his life than in the 21st century life. Anne Hathaway would get more famous. A classic couple compromise is what Jake said. People also suggested this is Shakespeare's way of making up for poor treatment of his wife in the past life. And then Jake says, abuse your wife, then 500 years later, don't get in the way of her fame.
Was Shakespeare
honorable.
abusive to his wife?
Yes.
Oh, bad Shakespeare.
It's a safe bet that any man, just actually from now to literally any time in the past, is probably an asshole to his wife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, another one. Do you believe that one about Anne Hathaway?
I think, no. I would need to see a picture of the actual 500 years ago Anne Hathaway.
I know.
William Shakespeare's wife.
Honestly, she kind of looks like her.
Oh, wow. Guys, pull over. Pull over if you're driving right now.
She really kind of looks like her. I mean, in the same way that
she's got no lips. Anne Hathaway's got those beautiful lips.
Well, that's true. Okay, the next one is Melania Trump has a body double. The rumors state that Melania would sometimes use a body double so that she wouldn't have to be with her husband in public situations. I believe this. I fully believe that.
Oh, yeah. I remember there was this lady wearing glasses and it looked like Melania, but it wasn't her.
I would believe that 100%. That's it. It really makes me laugh. I couldn't not like her. Obviously, this is politics aside. Just her energy. I've never seen someone seem so just what the fuck am I doing? The whole presidency. She was just look. You could see her just in her head looking at him what am I doing? How did I get here?
Yes. But the origin was sparked by a particular picture of Melania boarding Marine One at the White House as she and the president left for the final debate in Nashville, Tennessee. Later, a feud on Twitter started in 2017 when people found Melania wearing dark sunglasses. Yeah. Next to President Trump, who told a reporter, "I'm joined here by my wife, Melania, who also happens to be here today."
Oh my God.
As if he were trying to convince the public this was his real wife, even though no one was speculating before.
That is very funny.
Yeah, what I was saying, if you have to tell someone you're not something.
Yeah.
Like, I am not fucked up right now, and no one asked. Everyone's going to be like, okay, that person is, like, drunk
really
as hell.
drunk. Yeah. I really like this next one because I am a huge Adam Sandler fan. And I think this is 100% true. Adam Sandler only makes movies as an excuse to go on vacation.
I think Adam Sandler only makes movies as an excuse to touch beautiful women. Have you seen all the movies he's made? Like, his wives are, like, unbelievable.
It's insane. You know that when I was younger, I would, like, every year, I mean, I still am like this, I would, like, have a movie that I fell asleep to every night, and I, like, could not fall asleep without that
For me,
film.
it was Spanglish.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's so funny. Mine was Just Go With It, which is a movie that I feel like no one else watched, but I was obsessed with. And it's him, Jennifer Aniston, like Bailey Madison, and whatever. And he dates Jennifer Aniston, and she's so hot. It's also so funny because in the beginning, it's like one of those, like, she gets a makeover scenes.
Yeah.
She works at a plastic surgery office. She looks so pretty, but she has her hair up in like a claw clip.
Oh, yeah.
Which I guess wasn't in 10 years ago, but is now. But she has her hair up in a claw clip, and she looks so normal and nice.
Yeah.
And then she just takes her hair down, and he's like, but the whole beginning of the movie, he's like, God, you're so ugly. You look like a piece of shit. And then she, like, takes her hair down, and he's like, oh my God, she's so hot. But yeah, her and then Drew Barrymore. And
I was going to say she got She's the Man. No, not She's the Man. Is it She's the Man? What's that one with Freddie Prinze Jr.? She's all that. No, She's the Man, guys.
But yeah, so Adam Sandler only does movies that take place in other places. He's done Blended in South Africa, Bedtime Stories, The Castello di Amorosa, Don't Mess with the Zohan, which is a Mexico murder mystery in Italy, The Do-Over in Puerto Rico, Happy Gilmore was in Canada, Punch Drunk Love was in Hawaii, Just Go With It was in Hawaii, Grown Ups in Cape Cod. Yeah, he's done so many. And they always are. I really would believe this because also a lot of them are not just like in a different country. They're always like based at a resort.
Yeah.
Like Just Go With It is about him going on a vacation to Hawaii. And I feel like Blended is also about him going on a vacation in South Africa.
Maybe it's not even about the vacation aspect. It's like, where is an environment where this man who only wears basketball shorts can exist? You know?
And be love interest.
Yeah, like he's the type of guy who wears like those like cut off tanks and basketball shorts, smoking a cig. So of course he's got to be like somewhere tropical.
I would date him. I'm
Really?
sorry, I would. I mean, I'm engaged, so I can't.
Yeah.
But if I was single and he asked, I would date him. I was talking to my friends about this last night because they're like, who's the person you would sleep with that is the weirdest person probably? And I was like, Adam Sandler. I've heard he's so nice.
Mm-hmm. I could not imagine him on top of me. Let me think. Who's the weirdest celebrity that's a man that I would date if I had lost my mind?
Dick Van Dyke. Who's Dick Van Dyke?
Dick Van Dyke.
Sarah, how do you not know who Dick Van Dyke is?
That sounds like a strap-on brand. He's the guy who does the
Mary Poppins?
Wheel of Fortune.
No. Oh my God.
Who's that female comedian who did the voice for the Shell? Marcel the Shell. It's her ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
Jenny Slate.
Yeah, Jenny Slate. That's it.
He's a hot guy. Chris Evans.
Okay, you would date Chris Evans.
I would date Chris Evans because Chris Evans and Jenny Slate makes me trust him. And I'm not saying that Jenny Slate is not incredibly attractive. When a really hot guy dates a funny bitch, that's when I know that I can trust him.
Yeah.
Like no man ever goes after like the funny girl. It's always if all of his exes are models or like actresses or very serious pensive types, don't trust them. If they can date a funny girl, I know that they're smart.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, I'd fuck you once.
One time. Number 8, Lindsay Lohan actually had a twin sister who Disney killed off after The Parent Trap. There's absolutely no way that is true. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. That would not be, that's crazy.
There's Allie Lohan.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Lindsay's little sister?
Oh, you don't know who Dick Van Dyke is.
But Allie Lohan, you are so young. It's crazy because you're talking about Dick Van Dyke. But no, Allie Lohan like had this like series on E like before the Kardashians, and it was like for one season, and she's just I don't know, but Lindsay doesn't have a twin. No. Lindsay Lohan famously played 2 people in the 1990 movie The Parent Trap.
I wasn't born in 1998, so
you were born in 99.
Uh-huh.
I was born in 94.
Yeah.
But I hate The Parent Trap.
What?
I told you I can't stand movies that are about kids.
Oh, I actually get that. I guess I feel like Parent Trap is more about the parents.
Uh-huh. I also
And what's her name, who I have a huge crush on, it's in that movie, who plays Chessie.
Yes. My biggest pet peeve in a movie is when a child has an accent, like, oh my God, no. When a child fakes an accent, sorry. Like, because I don't like, I mean, like, when a child, like, does an accent.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, I already get annoyed when, like, a actor, like, does, like, a Southern accent and, like, they keep switching in, like, British, like, pronunciations. I'm sorry, it's like
we know what you mean.
When Lindsay Lohan does the British accent,
like
it's something I can't unlatch from.
You know what I hate is when in TV shows or films, they have a child who plays, like, a attitudey child, where the child will be like, oh yeah, I'm so sure. Oh, you're trying to date my mom? Good luck. It's like no child would ever talk like this.
Oh yeah, I hate when someone's trying to be like sassy, but they've chosen too many words and said like, oh, are you really sure that you're gonna tell me what to do? It's like, get it out. Get it out. Sorry, I'm yelling.
Okay, this is another conspiracy theory. Former Disney stars purposely sabotage their image to get out of Disney contracts.
I would believe that.
Yeah, I believe that. Miley Cyrus.
Was a huge Disney star with Hannah Montana, but after ending the show, she started releasing much different music. Can't Be Tamed, anyone? That
also,
changed my life.
Demi Lovato, which I don't know if she was doing that. I think she might have had an addiction issue, which probably wasn't like purposely to get out of Disney, but I think, maybe, it certainly did get her out of Disney.
But they have lists of others, like Vanessa Hudgens, did Spring Breakers. I thought they were going to mention something else. Any other millennials remember when she's a victim?
Who?
Vanessa Hudgens.
When what?
When her pictures leaked.
Oh, how old was she when that happened?
A teenager.
That is really messed up.
And everyone was like, horror, and I was like, she's a kid.
Also, it's interesting because, I haven't really thought about that in a really long time. And when I remember when that happened, I was so young that I think I thought of her as like a full-on adult. Like, I'm like thinking of her as like a 30-year-old. I still was like, well, that sucks. But it's crazy to think about that now and be like, wow, she was a child.
Mm-hmm. There's also Zac Efron, who did Neighbors, which is R-rated, Selena Gomez, who also did Spring Breakers, and Shia LaBeouf, who did drugs and just whatever.
Got arrested, so that.
But I will say Shia LaBeouf. Okay, Holes is the only movie that involves predominantly children that I can watch.
But it's not really children.
They're
like playing. What is it about again? They're digging
Shia
a hole?
LaBeouf, he steals some shoes. No, he doesn't. Zero steals shoes. And then they all get sent to like this juvenile detention camp where they have to dig holes in the desert.
Perfect.
Because it builds character. I don't know why no parent questioned that.
Yeah.
Why are our kids digging holes?
Yeah, what was it for?
To build character.
No, but what was the holes for?
They were looking for treasure. The thing is they didn't carry Madame Zeroni up the mountain. So when Shia LaBeouf carried Zero up the mountain, he was the descendant of Madame Zeroni.
Interesting.
And so Stanley Yelnats is Stanley Yelnats backwards.
Got it.
And so he did what his grandpappy should have, and then it started to rain.
Yeah.
And they found the treasure.
I gotta watch this movie.
No, they didn't find treasure. They just fixed the curse. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, but also, you know what a good movie is with Shia LaBeouf is the Even Stevens movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good movie, too.
Oh, that has one of my favorite, scenes ever. There's a point at the end where Red and him are on the beach, and Red's going to talk to someone, and Shia LaBeouf is sitting on this ledge, and he's like, I'll give you a second. Just literally falls off, backwards off the edge, and he disappears. I think that's so funny. It reminds me of that scene in Mean Girls when Katie runs out of the house during the Halloween scene, and, that guy just falls off the...
Yes.
I love when people fall.
Oh, it's classic comedy. Some things just are good comedy.
Mm-hmm. Physical humor.
People also think Winnie the Pooh is, I've heard this before, it's that they're based on specific mental illnesses. Like Pooh has an eating disorder, Piglet has anxiety disorder, Rabbit has narcissistic personality disorder, and Eeyore is depressed.
I do believe that Eeyore is depressed. What eating disorder? Binge eating for Pooh?
Yeah, I guess.
I know.
But just honey? That doesn't... yeah, I guess that would be it.
But when you think bears, you think honey.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think...
If anything, you should be like, Pooh has alcoholism.
What with honey?
Yeah, because that's not something that you would normally see.
It's also funny because I'm just like, yeah, when you write a show, I feel like people do this all the time with characters where they'll be like, Ross from Friends is a narcissist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's a character. He's not a real person.
He's a white man.
I'm like, if you're writing a character, you have to heighten a thing. So it's like when you're thinking of like, what could be a character? Oh, really type A. We have to heighten that to the nth degree. So now it's like Piglet or Monica or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, if you heighten any characteristic, it becomes a mental illness.
But I mean, like when you write a character, you have to create someone crazy or else people are not going to watch it, you know?
Yes, if you just had a bunch of people who are very normal, nobody would want to watch that. Every single show is like a heightened version. It's like New Girls, like Schmidt would be considered to have probably like OCD.
Yeah.
Or really, I don't know. Jessica Day is like so heightened to be the most like people pleasy, like anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all just like, yeah, if any character heightened is going to be something that is not normal.
Yeah.
So every character on TV, if they existed in the real world, it would be insane. Mm-hmm. Even when it feels normal on a TV show, it's like it would be nuts.
Who is your favorite crazy character that's not a villain?
Like on TV?
Yeah, like just out of their minds, because I have mine, and I hate this TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You go first if you know.
I love Creed from The Office.
I also love Creed. Did you know that he's really a famous musician?
He's not the same Creed.
No, I know, but that guy, that character, you know that's Creed? No,
you're trying to convince me that Creed is Creed.
That actor is like an actual famous musician, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
I mean, a lot of the characters from The Office are great. I mean, Dwight is great. Yeah, I really like Nick from New Girl. He really makes me laugh. I
like Schmidt more than Nick.
I like Schmidt. I think Schmidt is like so funny. Like he's one of my favorites too. I think that cast is great.
Yeah.
But I think Schmidt is like a character I've kind of seen before, which isn't about. It's not like I think the actor makes it different.
Yeah.
But it's not like a crazy. I think Nick is like a new character. I'm like, what is this? This man is like. I mean, I guess it's just kind of like a man that isn't doing anything, but I just think he's very funny. It really makes me laugh.
I think something that would be like my ultimate fantasy is if you got Schmidt from New Girl, Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows, and Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek.
Oh yeah.
To just speak to each other.
Yeah.
The random way that they pronounce words.
Yeah.
I would come.
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh man, yeah. I also love. I do love. This is unpopular opinion, but I do love Ross on Friends. He really makes me laugh.
Really?
It's like everyone's least favorite character. I mean, Monica's my favorite character on Friends. I think she's so funny. I think Courtney Cox. I would do anything for Courtney Cox, honestly.
I have never seen a full episode of Friends.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you probably have to like grow up with it. I think it's like people either grow up with like that or Frasier.
No, it's one of those things, like where the series, people have hyped it up too much. Like when people tell me that I would like Grey's Anatomy, I'm like, it's too long. I can't start it. But like I love people's appreciation for Friends or Grey's Anatomy, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just whether you grew up with it. It's like Friends would not. It's so funny. Jennifer Aniston did this thing did an interview where she was like, people are so like sensitive these days. Like Friends couldn't be on now which I'm like, yeah, of course. Nothing from 10 years ago could probably be on today, which is good. But also I was like, don't go down this hole because Friends could not be on today because Friends would not be popular today. It wouldn't even be picked up today. You could not just be like, it's a show about 6 people, period.
Yeah.
That's the whole plot. It's like that would never stick around these days. So I just am like, you're lucky it came out in the 90s but I do love it. I mean, I just grew up with it.
No, exactly. So it's like that's like saying like it's also outdated. That's like saying like, oh, a beeper couldn't sell today. Yeah, because there's no use for it.
Yeah.
And as like we're so far along in technology, that would be like going back in time. But there's also one more. Michael Cera never agreed to be an actor. He just stumbled into it and couldn't say no due to his awkward persona.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
He like was on one of those like production set tours.
Yeah.
And he fell off, and then they're like, "You boy, come here, be be this character.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, thank you all so much for watching and listening and being here. And happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. The hump day, as they say. Make sure to
They do say that.
Make sure to rate us 5 stars. Give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe on YouTube. Anywhere you get your podcasts, leave a nice little blurb if you can.
And anywhere you get your Vyvanse, comment down below. Please, I need my medication.
If
Mommy needs her pills.
In the Los Angeles area, and actually, Kendahl is willing to travel. So any place you get your Vyvanse, please let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I hope you guys are just having a wonderful, wonderful week. And remember, tomorrow's Thursday, and then it's Friday, and then it's the weekend. So I feel like I'm on the radio right now. Just enjoy. And Taylor is going to bring us home on this Wednesday morning.
Hell yeah. All right.
Taylor Swift, if that wasn't clear.
No, I got it. But we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.